never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine.
Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Happy Friday to everybody. I figured since high school football in the area kicks off tonight for most teams, and since week 0 in college football is right around the corner, coming up 1 week from tomorrow, next Saturday, August 27th, that today we would talk some college football, do another early season prediction. College football is all over the news right now, not just because of the fact that the 2022 season is right around the corner, it's basically here, but also because of the fact you still have the constant, continuous talks about, is the Big Ten going to expand anymore? Is the SEC going to expand anymore? Is the Pac-12 going to go away? Is the Big 12 going to go away? And now you have the talks about the Big Ten trying their best to merge away from the NCAA, and the SEC trying to merge away from the NCAA. And I hate to toot my own horn, but I did say about a year and a half ago here on the channel that all the big-time conferences were going to eventually break away from the NCAA. But who would have ever thought that the Georgia Bulldogs finally sneaking up and winning a national championship would be the end of college football as we know it? So for all you Georgia Bulldog haters out there, that gives you another reason to hate them. They finally sneak up and win a national championship after 40 years of having the best talent in the world, and it is the end of college football as we know it. So today we're going to preview the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and if I have already done them this year, I apologize, but I tried my best to scroll through the channel to make sure I'm not repeating a video, and I scrolled all the way back to June, and I did not see Nebraska anywhere on the page. So I'm going to assume I have not done them this year, but I did do one on them last year. The reason why I'm doing one this year is because I believe they're going to be a much improved team from last year, and I'm doing it today because they're actually one of the teams that plays 1 week from tomorrow, next Saturday, when we have week 0, and I believe it's the second straight year they've played in week 0. I think they played Illinois last year, if memory serves me correctly, in week 0. But they were 3-9 last year. They were terrible. But I think 7 of their 9 losses were within a touchdown. And a lot of those touchdown games were decided by either missed field goals or Scott Frost being scared to attempt a field goal because of the fact their kicker was no good. So I'm going to say that they've improved their kicking game because they say they have improved their kicking game. Of course, we won't know until the season gets here, but they say they have improved their kicking game, and I think they've upgraded at quarterback because Adrian Martinez, who has been their quarterback since Tom Osborne was their coach, transferred, and they bring in a transfer quarterback from Texas in Casey Thompson. Of course, he transferred there because Quinn Ewers transferred into Texas. And I think Casey Thompson is a lot better quarterback than Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez wasn't bad. He just wasn't a team player. He was all about Adrian Martinez. He wasn't going to win you any games or lose you any games. He was just there. Whereas I think Casey Thompson can actually win you a couple of games. And it's hard to have 2 straight years where you lose 7 or 8 games by a touchdown or less. So I'm going to assume that a lot of those close games they lost last year, they'll win this year. So we look at their schedule, and they kick off with Northwestern coming up 1 week from tomorrow. So since they play in week 0, they'll get 2 bye weeks, whereas most teams only get 1. They'll play Northwestern next Saturday at 12:30, and I believe that game is going to be in Dublin, Ireland. There's one game next Saturday that is in Dublin. I'm not positive, but I think it's the Northwestern Nebraska game. And then week 1, they play North Dakota. Week 2, they play Georgia Southern. And week 3, they'll play Oklahoma. I believe they'll beat Northwestern. They'll beat North Dakota. They'll beat Georgia Southern. And they'll lose to Oklahoma. And then they head into their first bye week in week number 4, and then they come back with a 3-game stretch before their next bye week against Indiana, Rutgers, and Purdue. I believe they'll beat Indiana. I believe they'll beat Rutgers, but I think they'll lose to Purdue. And if you follow the channel, you know a couple of weeks ago I said Purdue is going to be sneaky good this year, so I think Purdue will defeat Nebraska. And then Nebraska has their second bye week in week number 8, and then they round out the season with a tough schedule. They play Illinois and then Minnesota before wrapping it up with Michigan, Wisconsin, and as always, Iowa on Thanksgiving weekend. They'll beat Illinois, they'll beat Minnesota, but they'll lose to Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So again, I've got Nebraska defeating Northwestern, North Dakota, Georgia Southern, Indiana, Rutgers, Illinois, and Minnesota. And I've got them losing to Oklahoma, Purdue, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So if I'm correct, Nebraska will go 7-5, which will be a huge improvement from last year. And I believe if they get to 7 wins, Scott Frost will no longer be on the hot seat. Any thoughts about Nebraska's overall season record? Please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. When your girlfriend comes home in a white suit, covered in bee stings, and smelling like honey, you know she's a keeper. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.